Stupid logo. Yeah, that's better. You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look, as you guys see on the screen right now, we are already in the sim. We have birthday shenanigans to get to. So
it's your birthday! Happy birthday day! Woof woof, bark bark, meow, beep beep.
All we're gonna do right now is just give you guys a whole bunch of deck lists. As you guys see on the screen right now, we got over 34 deck lists. It's really over 35 deck lists right now that we are going to go over. And to be honest with you, OP12 is not really going to change too much. I'm gonna show you guys what I have for my ዄuⱠ deck. Just go ahead and copy this. My personal opinion about ₦, it's always going to be a good deck as long as you can get that power up to 9K every single turn. But nothing has really changed just because I haven't really tested OP12 at all. But you know, I have been playing against things in OP12, and I don't know, I'm a big fan of it. It's not broke, don't try to fix it. So here are some different lists. You guys are probably wondering what my lists were for ₦. Here's a couple of lists here. I haven't really tried anything new, but like I said earlier, if it's not broke, I'm not fixing it. So these are 3 different deck lists for ₦, for all our ₦ fans. Now let's go ahead and get straight into Rayleigh. If this is your first time seeing these type of deck profiles on my channel or deck lists on my channel, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over every single one of these cards, and then I'm going to tell you my honest opinion about each deck. This particular deck, this is a top 3 deck in OP12. The 3 best decks in the OP12 meta right now is UP Green Zoro, and then it's really a toss up between this particular deck and GP Luffy. This deck literally replaced red yellow Bello Betty. So if you guys do want a deck that's really good into UP, this is definitely spinning the block, and that's a fact, not an opinion. But yeah, Red Rally definitely putting in work. Next deck we have right here is Red Zoro. Red Zoro is another good option. Red Zoro actually won, I think, the very first CS, major CS in Japan. So I mean, this is still a good deck. Like I said, anything that really counters UP Luffy, you're really gonna have a good time. So you know, if you guys are still a fan of Red Zoro's, it's a top deck, just not popular. I think that's just what it is. This deck's been around for so long. I think people are just trying to use other newer stuff, and that's the reason why you see so many people on Rayleigh compared to Red Zoro. Next deck we have right here is Shanks. Shanks isn't really doing too much. I would put this like in C tier at OP12. It's not really doing too much, even with the structure decks. Not really doing too much. It did get a brand new card in this particular card, the Shanks. I'm not going to read anything because, like I said, I am kind of on a time crunch right now, but you know, they did get a little bit of support in the OP12. Is it like meta, you know, S, E tier? No, like I said, I'll probably put this deck in like C or D tier, but Shanks still viable. Next deck we have right here is Green Smoker, and I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you guys. Green Smoker is still really good. It's a real big, I wouldn't say combo deck, but it's a high skill ceiling deck. If you guys don't know what this deck does or how to really manage your Dawn, you're really gonna get behind. The biggest thing too is that all of these decks is really based off of before the ban list. So you know, I don't really want to tell you guys if you should really pick up any of these cards, because there's one card in every single green deck everybody has their eye on right now, is Hody Jones. We will be making a ban list prediction video at some point. I'm really just waiting until August until we make a video on that. But this is a real, you know, big type of card where everybody's, you know, thinking that this is going to get banned. Let me know your thoughts if you think Hody Jones should be banned. And yeah, Green Smoker outside of that is a real good deck. Let's go ahead and keep on going. Next deck we have right here is Bello Betty. Bello Betty still hasn't really changed too much from what it's currently doing in our present format, but I think the problem with our Yellow Betty is that a lot of people just getting tired of playing with OP12. They'll rather go with the Silver's Rally. So if you guys are asking me which deck is better, I'll still go with Silver's Rally. It's new. I mean, why would you guys still want to play something old? I mean, if you are a red, yellow, Bello Betty player, just go ahead and play it. If that's really just your main, like, and maybe you don't have enough money to get another deck, very good budget friendly deck. So that being said, this is like something you viable with. Just keep on playing with it. Don't let anybody tell you anything different, okay? And it's YGOD. The next deck we do have here is Marco. So Marco is another fan favorite deck. In my personal opinion, it's one of my favorite decks to even watch, to play. Really high skill ceiling on this deck. It's really abusing this Ivankov right here. But yeah, one of my favorite type of decks. A lot of people are saying this is kind of like a watered down version of UP Luffy just because of this Sanji. I mean, and they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But if you guys are a big fan of, you know, Marco, blue, red, Marco, I remember people were calling this Sakazuki 2.0. You might have a good time playing this deck. You just got to be shice with it. That's just the truth of the matter. You just have to be really good with this particular deck. Still viable though, still viable. Next deck we have right here is red green law. Red green law, like I said, anything that has a good matchup into UP Luffy, you're really gonna have a good time. This deck doesn't really look like it's even playing Hody Jones, which means that this deck may be, you know, skipping the ban list, which is not bad at all. And yeah, it's pretty much flood the board and try to beat your opponent before they can do anything. That's pretty much how this deck really runs, and also really abusing this Cavendish and these laws here. That is that's usually how this deck goes, and really ending off the game with Monkey D. Luffy. Decent rushing deck. Like I said, this is another one of those decks where you really need to know what the hell you're doing. You need to be a higher level thinker, and that is a fact. Now, the next deck we have right here is the red black Kobe. I have not seen too many red black Kobe's. I feel like this deck still needs support, but nonetheless, this particular list is topping currently in the East. You know, if you like Kobe, play it, but it's uphill battle. This is like a D tier deck in my personal opinion going into OP12. Next deck we have right here is Sanji, red Sanji. Like I said, anything that is good into UP Luffy, you're gonna have a good time. It seems like this particular card, this OP12 Shanks, is starting to become a staple in a lot of red decks moving forward, so just take note of that. We're ending off games with the Monkey D Dragon, and just really the base out of this deck is really to spam the board before UP Luffy can do anything. That's pretty much the gist of it. Like I said, anything that is good into UP Luffy, you're gonna have a good time. We have the #1 fraud himself, Buggy. I remember people were telling me that Buggy was an S tier deck, the counter to UP Luffy, and here we have it back in D tier. You know, where it belongs. Look, I talk a lot of shit. It is pretty good just having this boosting up structure deck card in this Crocodile and Mihawk, but y'all gotta stop fucking hyping up shit. That's just what it is. People say I hate Buggy. I don't really hate the Buggy. I can really care less. Y'all be letting y'all emotions get into what I'm saying. I'm just telling y'all motherfuckers need to stop hyping shit. It's like, I don't know if you guys are trying to do it to, you know, increase your sales or trying to, you know, lie to everybody for the meta. I don't know what it is, but you guys have to stop doing that shit. I have 2 Buggies here. No, this is Nami, so it is labeled Buggy. It is also another fraud. You know how the frauds stick together. This was supposed to be the #1 deck, the most broken deck in OP, what was it, 11, our current format. So what happened to UI Nami? And that's why I said, y'all motherfuckers gotta stop hyping shit, man. That shit is not cool, especially for people that's new to the game, that have no clue what they're talking about. They see a whole bunch of people on YouTube, you know, putting out this bullshit. They go to a tournament and realize this shit is ass, and now they just wasted their money. So like y'all gotta start being 100. But you know, people on YouTube can't do that. They just can't do that. Let's see what this deck is. Another UI Nami. Let's go ahead and keep on going. The shall not be named. And that's what we have for shall not be named. Don't ask me shit about this deck. I'm not talking about it. Sanji, blue purple Sanji is actually a very good deck. I played against a lot of people on the sim that's from the East with this deck, and they are absolutely cooking. This deck is really event-based heavy, but any deck that can really play Gum Gum Giant, you're really gonna have a good time. It's not even gonna be comparable. So any purple straw hat deck that can play Gum Gum Giant, it makes it viable, and Sanji's definitely doing that. And at the tail end of OP12, you're starting to see more Sanjis come into play as well. Really good option to use if this is something you're interested in. Same thing right here. This is Kuzan. I actually have Sanji. Let me just go ahead and get this Kuzan list one sec. So we have the Kuzo list, my bad. And Kuzan's a very good deck. Like I said, I think this is another one of these decks that's a high skill ceiling type of deck. You don't really see any of these decks in the meta at this point. I mean, usually if you do, it's maybe like 2, maybe 1 or 2 in the top 16. Actually, when it comes to the CSs, I haven't seen this deck once. So just take that with a grain of salt. Kuzan definitely put in work, but I just feel like it's a higher skill ceiling deck. My favorite character in the game by far until Loki comes here. But yeah, Kuzan, there's Kuzan. Sanji actually coming up as well. Like I said, any deck that's good into UP Luffy, you're gonna have a very good time. But just be wary about buying any of these green cards. Like I said, Gum Giant and Hody Jones is on ban list watch, so just make sure you guys, like, I'm gonna be real with y'all, don't pick up any of these cards until we have a ban list, because I don't want you guys, you know, looking at this list that I'm showing you, and then like I said, like for instance Bonnie, I don't want you guys to pick up Bonnie thinking this deck is like one of the best decks in the format, then Hody Jones gets banned, and now this deck kind of has no game ending type of card. So, and you know, I don't even know how that will even affect something like Bonnie, but just wait, just play with everything in the sim. We should be getting a ban list very shortly. It's about to be August next week, so hopefully we see something. We have Rosie right here, blue-green Rosinante, and it's a decent list, but like I said, this is another one of these decks where you have to be a high skill ceiling type of deck, a higher level thinker pilot to really play this deck. And also you guys have to take in mind is that this particular card will be gone by next April, so there is a ticking time bomb on this deck as well. But hey, if you can cook, fucking cook that bitch up, because I'm getting hungry. So like I said, we have birthday stuff going on today, so you know, I'm actually hungry. What I'm not hungry for is information about this deck. I'm not even going to talk about UP Luffy, best deck in the format. I'm not going to talk about anything else. Let's just go ahead and go straight to the next deck, because you already know UP Luffy's the best deck. Next deck we have right here is Purple Black Luffy. This is a very good deck, but like I said about any of these purple straw hat decks, any deck that can really abuse this Gum Giant is going to be viable. So it doesn't matter which flavor of cards you're really going to play. Gum Giant, especially in this particular deck, Beer Luffy, is definitely you know, making this deck have an uprise in the East. So you know, if you guys do want to play, you can play it, but like I said, you guys have to be careful for the ban list. Like I said, this is a pre-ban list set of deck lists, and once we have a ban list, I'll be redoing this video again. The next deck that I feel like is probably not going to get, actually might get hit, because it does have Hody Jones. Have you guys not noticed that every single one of these green deck, this is like Green's versus a Gecko Moria, I'm starting to notice, like every single green deck we have went over has at least 3 or 4 Hody Jones. This is literally the Gecko Moria of green. So I'm not sure how green will function without this card. Let me know below if you guys are a green player. But you know, when I keep scrolling over all of these green decks, makes it more and more of an obvious choice for Hody Jones to get banned. It's unfortunate, but Zoro as a whole, it's I'll probably say it's a top 2 deck. I think it's the second best deck. I think it's UP Luffy, Zoro, and then it's GP Luffy, then Rayleigh. So you know, that's just what it is. Speaking of GP Luffy, we got GP Luffy right here, but like I said earlier, you guys need to be careful about this deck, because if this gets hit, then you really just have Sanji and Pudding, and if you don't see this deck literally folds. This deck really thrives on having Gum Giant here, and I'm not really too sure if this is even going to get banned or not. I'm pretty sure there's a brand new version in OP13, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they just made a different version of Gum Giant. I think it was in PRB, so it'd be kind of weird for them to reprint Gum Giant and then just for them to hit it. That'd be kind of strange. Usually they wait a while before they do that, so I feel like Gum Giant might not get hit as well, since it is coming out in PRBO2, which is getting ready to release in Japan. Next deck we have right here is another combo centric deck, Reiju. If you guys are a combo player and you guys do like playing blue or purple colors, this is a very good deck to play. If you guys are coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, this deck is very similar to Dragon Rulers, just being able to recycle the babies into the bigger bodies, such as this EGT right here, and also Pudding right here, and you also have a built-in Gecko Moria with this Judge. The thing about this deck is if you don't see Stage or you don't see Black Mirror, more likely you're going to lose. So just take that with a grain of salt while building all of these decks. Next deck we have right here is Blackbeard. As long as Blackbeard's going to be in the game with that broken ass floodgate with the pretty much the skill drain, this deck is always going to be viable. Only reason why it's really not that viable at the moment is just there's so many things that just rush at this point that doesn't even need to use on plays, and if that's in the meta, this is going to really be hindered. But this ability alone is always going to be good. So If you guys are a Blackbeard fan, I don't think anything in here is going to get hit. And yeah, just go about your day. I really don't think anything in Blackbeard is going to get hit. Next deck we have right here is Gecko Moria. Gecko Moria has actually been topping in the East. It's definitely still been cooking. I'm actually very surprised about it. Here's the Gecko list. Tell me what you guys think. Just being able to have this this bounceability with this Absalom, with the brand new cards coming out of PRB, the Gecko Moria, this deck actually might be able to contend with Lucci as well. So just make sure you get your Gecko cards sooner rather than later. Next card we got right here is Crayola. I mean, this is another fraud. Everybody said that this is going to be the #1 deck in OP11, the most broken deck, the deck that's going to stop UP Luffy, and this deck is literally only shown up once in OP12's format in the East. So once again, y'all motherfuckers gotta stop hyping up bullshit. That shit is so corny in my eyes. Y'all gotta, like, you guys are wasting and lying to people. I can never do that. You know, it's either be honest or just keep your mouth shut. Next deck we got right here is Rob Lucci. I feel like this is currently the best black deck in the game until PRB comes out for Gecko support. But yeah, Gecko, I mean, when you really just look at all these cards, nothing has really changed. All these cards are pretty old. Lucci's still doing Lucci things. I feel like this deck is ahead of its time as well. So if you guys are a Lucci fan, you guys are really good off the radar when it comes to ban list. Next deck we have right here is Kid. Kid actually made it to the finals a couple weeks ago in Japan in the CS, and for good reason. This deck is really good if you really know what you're doing. And really what pushed this deck to the next level, I feel like, is this Kuma right here. This Kuma really did work with this particular Kid in OP12, so I'm really looking forward to trying this out because it's YGOD, Yellow Gang or Die. YGOD. Shout out to all my delinquents. Kid coming up clutch and putting in work for the gang, especially since Yellow's still having a hard time you know, functioning without the Rego. Next deck we have right here is Green Yellow Yamato. Like I said earlier, anything that has a really good matchup with the UP Luffy really going to be spinning, and that is a fact, not an opinion. Only thing I'm gonna tell you about this deck is that if this card gets banned, I don't know how this deck is really going to be able to end games out when they need to end games. So just be careful when picking any green deck. Okay, so the next deck we have right here is Enel. So we have Enel here. This is my very first deck I actually learned the game on. It has a couple of toppings just because of this particular Enel right here, but nonetheless, this reminds me of Shanks. I mean, and also this deck really did get hindered with Kingdom Come ban. I feel like once this ban list does come out, we need to have Kingdom come back, because if we just take a look in this deck, there's really no way to get rid of bigger body type of characters, and I don't understand why they keep nerfing Yellow. I really truthfully don't. We rarely or barely do anything, and here they are on our fucking nutsack. It's because we get the baddest hoes. That must be it. We must have the baddest hoes. Our drip's too loud and our money's too long. That's a fact, not an opinion, man. It must be it, because the way they're goobing all of our yellow players, such as ﷺ is actually a really good matchup into UP Luffy because it does spam the board. So if you guys do want something that kind of reminds yourself of Blue Doflamingo, this is a very good option as well moving forward in our meta in OP12. And ﷺ is relatively cheap. You could build this whole entire deck for like $30. You can even alt art it, excluding the Zeus's, for very cheap as well. ﷺ, one of my favorite decks to watch and play because, like I said, it's Yellow Gang or Die. Next deck that actually topped was Yellow Black Kuros. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I have no clue what this deck does because I've never seen it be played. I just saw this list on One Piece top decks, grabbed the fucking sim code and put it in my happy ass simulator so I could show you guys. But this deck somehow, some way did top, and that's why I am showing it to you guys. Very crazy. If you guys can explain to me what this deck does, I'll greatly appreciate it. Next deck we have right here is Yellow Purple Robin. Like I said earlier, anything that is purple that can abuse this broken ass card in Gum Gum Giant, you're gonna have a very good time. Outside of that, we have everything else that Yellow Purple Robin does play. You got the Kuma, got the Kid, got the Yamato, Sanji in the game. One of the best purple cards in every single purple deck with this category, and also applying pressure with this Monkey D. Luffy. And like I said, just be on ban list watch with this Gum Gum Giant. And yeah, there we go. Robin, I still think Robin should have got that Lakers purple yellow card treatment. I think that should have been happening. Next deck we have right here that actually showed up is Yellow Charlotte Linlin. There's actually a tournament winning with this deck. I have no clue how they did it. They must have said their prayers, got on their knees, and thank Anel himself before the tourney, and they actually showed up. So if you're a fan of this Charlotte Lindland, this thing is definitely still cooking. And OP12 apparently. The next deck we have right here is red, and I keep on saying red, purple, yellow, rosy. If you guys are a LOL fanboy, okay, you like looking at LOL all day long. If you are Hearts, Pirates, you know, type of fan, this is definitely the deck for you. And yeah, gang, if this is something that you vibe with and you really just like the LOLs and the rosies, this is definitely a deck for you. I almost forgot these cards down here. Here you go. And yeah, definitely a deck for you. I put it in D tier, but like I said, if you're a Shice pilot, you could play anything. The next deck and last deck we have is Jourdaüshii. Jourdaüshii coming up and putting in work. This is actually the only deck as well that's a non-attack leader outside the deck that shall not be named that's actually has a tournament showing as well. So yeah, that's all I got when it comes to all these deck lists. Like I said, I am in a rush. I have to have some birthday things I need to get to, I'm sorry. And yeah, hopefully this video does help you. But one more thing before I do tell you anything, do not buy any cards until we get a ban list, because like I said, Hody Jones once again in the green deck. I feel like Hody Jones is the new Gecko Moria, and just be on the watch for that, because Hody Jones actually might get banned after seeing all these green decks play this one card over and over again. But yeah, tell me below what you guys think about the OP12 meta. And yeah, that's all I got. But look, before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll go.